Frozen is one of Disney's most successful animated films, becoming a worldwide phenomenon thanks to its characters and its music. For many, this is one of the films that best conveys the concept of family, love, and friendship. But what if I told you that in fact, the film tells us how we should reject our own individuality and accept being dependent on society in order to feel complete and happy? Today, we're going to take a look at Frozen. The film tells the story of Elsa and her sister Anna, two princesses who lives in a castle. When Elsa was little, she discovered that she was different. She had the ability to create ice using magic. While using those powers, Elsa almost caused the death of her sister. And due to those events, Elsa isolated herself away from her family and grew up alone in her room. After a series of unfortunate events, Elsa forced herself to move further away from society, moving far away and building herself an ice castle. For some people, this movie is a clear allegory to depression and isolation. Elsa's fears and sadness are symptoms presented in chronic depression. Perhaps the film is giving us a way out of this state of mind. To be able to rely on our loved ones could be the meaning behind the film. But there are several elements that go beyond simple depression. And more than just a method of getting out of depression, it seems that the film tries to teach us a lesson in life. What moves Elsa away from the rest of the world is not just her fears of what could happen, but the main reason is that she is different from everyone else. Not only is she different because of her magical abilities, but also for her thoughts. She guides her actions by logic, trying to keep her emotions under control. The film actually proposes that a person could not be happy being separated from society, that dependency is necessary. While Elsa is represented by ice and logic, her sister Anna is the opposite. She is represented by fire and emotions. While Elsa tries to make every decision based on logic, Anna is an emotional person who lets herself be carried away by her impulses, again proposing that controlling emotions is something negative. Only by releasing those emotions could someone feel whole. This concept differs from other philosophies that proposes that emotional attachment is the basis of all suffering, and that by keeping those emotions at bay, we could find peace. But the film actually proposes the opposite, the acceptance of negative emotions. This is a frequent theme in Pixar movies. In the Pixar movie Inside Out, it talks of the negative effects caused by suppressing emotions, of how they could trigger depression. But unlike Inside Out, Frozen is trying to convey that by trying to control ourselves using logic, moving away from civilization and finding our own way in life is something negative. That we must all open ourselves to the society that surrounds us and assimilate so that we could be happy. In an increasingly systematic society, total integration of its people is necessary. Individuality is often attacked by those who wish to maintain total control. Using logic and trying to control emotions could constitute a danger to that system. Collective thought becomes more promoted every day, while individualism is frowned upon. Though this film does teach us about how we should accept ourselves, it also promotes the integration and dependency to society. That the idea of following our own path would never lead us to happiness, and that although we are all different, we must look for a way to integrate ourselves into society. Although history tells a much different story. Great minds like Tesla and other philosophers have changed history with their inventions and their way of thinking, developed by their own solitude, sometimes living in isolation up in the mountains with no human contact for decades. They were responsible for the greatest inventions or societal advances, so promoting individualism as something negative is actually wrong. Frozen continually talks about how it is okay to be different, but at the same time, it seems to say that we would only obtain happiness by being like others. Tell me what you think about Frozen. Is it right that every person, however different, should seek social integration? Or do you think that every person should find their own way in life, even if it means living in isolation? Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, assume nothing and question everything.